Let's hit the field.
All rise.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Today is Thursday, October 17th, and it was Game 3 of the American League Championship Series from Cleveland. Clark Schmidt was on the mound trying to give the Yankees a commanding 3-0 series lead, but would the offense cooperate? My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Welcome to the New York City.
Pinstripe Territory.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Obviously, not the result that Yankees fans wanted, but that was an all-time playoff game. In baseball history, one of the best games that I've ever seen, hands down. And you got to tip your cap to the Cleveland Guardians. We didn't come out on top, but the Yankees still lead the series 2-1, and we can't panic. You know, you just go back out there and get them tomorrow. We got Luis Gil on the mound. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. After Game 2, someone made a comment about the 90s Yankees, and I kind of went down memory lane about the 90s different series that they had and big moments. And we talked a little bit about that home run by Roberto Alomar off of Mariano Rivera in Game 5 of the 97 ALDS. That was another crushing blow, right? And what's interesting is that the Yankees were facing possibly the best cutter since Mariano Rivera, and Aaron Judge took the same approach, went opposite field, and hit a home run to almost the exact same spot where Alomar's home run landed. And then to add insult to injury, Giancarlo Stanton went to right center with a home run of his own on a slider, and the Yankees took a late lead, but they could not hang on to it. Still, one of the most thrilling innings I've ever been privileged to witness in my Yankees watching life, and I've watched a lot of Yankees baseball. The ninth inning was thrilling from a baseball perspective, but crushing from a Yankees fan perspective. 2-run, game-tying home run by Noel, big Christmas. And then, of course, they walk it off in the 10th inning with Fry hitting a long home run off of Clay Holmes, who has been on the mound for a lot of the worst losses that the Yankees have had this season. So, hey, it is what it is. You wipe the dust off, you pick yourselves up off the mat, and you come out and you get them tomorrow. Now, Cleveland is going to have momentum for sure, but that momentum ends if they don't get a good start from their starting pitcher tomorrow. And we'll talk more about Game 4 in just a few minutes. Base running continues to be a problem for the Yankees. Jose Trevino in there because he's right-handed and Wells left-handed against a left-handed starting pitcher, and Wells hasn't been hitting. But Trevino got a big hit and unfortunately got picked off. The Yankees continue to run the bases like drunks. That cannot happen, and it cost the Yankees a vital run. You get that run, you win the game. And that is a fact of life. You win if you get that run. Base running cost the Yankees the 3-0 series lead. 100%. No doubt about it. Yankees also lost Ian Hamilton tonight. That is bad, bad, bad news. That is a major part of our bullpen. We'll find out tomorrow if he needs to be removed from the roster or if it's just one of those things where it's, swole up and sore and he needs a day. But not good. So, top of the 8th inning, when Clase entered the game, I was not feeling optimistic at all, especially the way Judge had been swinging the bat tonight and the way the team had been playing all game. I was not optimistic. And there's been a lot of people comparing Clase to Mariano Rivera because of the cutter and because of the season that he had. But the difference is that with one or two exceptions, Rivera was money in the playoffs. And Clase gave up a home run to Carpenter in the ALDS, and tonight, Judge and Stanton got him. One of the greatest moments I've ever experienced. 2 clutch home runs in a row. But then Luke Weaver gets 1 strike away from closing down the Guardians and serves up the 2-run game-tying home run to the rookie, Jhonkensy Noel. That's baseball. Game goes extra innings, and Fry ends it with a 2-run home run. Great overall baseball game. No doubt about it. but did not work out in the Yankees' favor tonight. Talk about Clarke Schmidt. Once again, he was okay. And I told you that he'd probably give you a very similar outing to what Garrett Cole gave you in Game 2. He ended up getting one more out, but other than that, it was pretty much the same. He didn't get demolished. He doesn't have games where he gives up 6, 7, 8 runs usually. But he also doesn't get you into the 6th or 7th inning very often. And tonight was a repeat of that. First inning, he put the first 2 runners on, kind of cost him some pitches, struck out Ramirez with a phenomenal knee-buckling curve, and then worked his way out of a jam. A little bit of help from nice defense from John Birdie. First base was a problem tonight, though. Birdie had an issue. They brought Rizzo in later in the game. He was whack out there. Second inning for Clarke Schmidt, 6 pitches, nice and easy. He got back on track. Third inning, Guardians hit him hard. Line drive single and a 2-run home run by Kyle Manzardo, another rookie. Served up a double in the 4th inning, but pitched around it, broke 3 bats. And then in the 5th inning, he got the first 2 men out before serving up a double to Jose Ramirez, and that was the end of his night. The announcing crew, I swear to God, was acting like Ramirez was hitting a walk-off home run there on just a 2-out double in the 4th inning. Anytime the Yankees would do anything tonight, they act like somebody kicked their dog and called their mother stupid. But anytime the Guardians would do something, it was hands across America. Pretty standard night from Clarke Schmidt, if you ask me. 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He was okay. Let's talk about the all-time moment before we talk about how demoralized we all are. I mentioned before that the 8th inning tonight was one of the best moments I've ever seen as a Yankees fan. And this time of year, we get the benefit of having memories from previous seasons dropped into our timelines on social media. And I feel like because we lost this game, we're going to be robbed of this memory in the future because the game ended in such heartbreaking fashion. Nobody remembers the big home runs you hit in a loss. But today I was watching replays of like the 2017 comeback against the Astros with the big opposite field double from Gary Sanchez, the 2000 home run by David Justice into the upper deck against Seattle. I watched both of those today, and I thought we had another classic. I really did. When that home run from Stanton went out of the ballpark, I thought, you know what? This series could be over. I thought it broke the back of the Guardians, but you have to tip your cap because they got back off the mat, and now it's the Yankees' turn. But I loved seeing the, reactions, the emotions from Stanton and Judge. They were smiling and yelling like little leaguers. My heart was bursting out of my chest, man. Moment of the season. You just had the feeling like the stars were finally aligning for us, and we're saying, this is our year. But you dealt a devastating loss. And now we got to find out what this team is made of. In 98, the Yankees fell behind 2-1 to the then Indians. And in Game 4, we were saying, let's find out what this team is made of. We had an untested rookie. His name was Orlando Hernandez. And he shoved. Tomorrow night, we will have another untested rookie. The potential rookie of the year, starting for the Yankees in Luis Gil. I suspect he will have an extremely short leash. If he's walking guys, you're probably going to see Marcus Stroman pretty early. If he's pitching well, he could be a guy that feeds off of the spotlight and feeds off of silencing the crowd. I expect him to be a little bit overamped early. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not he can keep his emotions in check and keep his fastball where he wants it to be. The Guardians are going to be pitching Gavin Williams, and the Yankees have zero excuse to not beat down Gavin Williams. They got to beat his brains in. They got to get him out of there by the 2nd or 3rd inning. He was 3-10 with a 4.86 this year, 6.32 ERA in the 1st inning, and an 8.59 ERA in the 4th inning. I don't even want him getting to the 4th inning tomorrow. I want the Yankees to come out swinging early. And if Luis Gil is dealing, you can get momentum right back. Look, we all had a lot of predictions about this series. I didn't see many people predicting that the Yankees would sweep. And I don't think any of us realistically thought that the Yankees would sweep. A lot of us said Yankees in 6, maybe Yankees in 5 or 7. But you can't do that without losing a couple of games. Right? You can't win in 6 unless you lose 2. So there's one, right? Let's go ahead and win tomorrow. As Matt Duchamp says, let's go ahead and get to Gavin Williams. Let's come out and deliver a punch in the mouth. There was one year the Yankees were playing the Indians. It was 98, again, and Jarrett Wright had shoved against the Yankees in 97. Just absolutely shoved. And when he was starting in Game 1, the consensus was, we have got to come out and hit this guy in the mouth as hard as we can. We got to come out like Mike Tyson against, I don't know, pretty much everybody. Peter McNeely, and just throw a couple of haymakers. And I think the Yankees got 5 or 6 hits to begin the game. And before you knew it was like 5-0, game was over. That's what the Yankees need to do tomorrow. They need to get to the starter early, make the Cleveland manager, Stephen Vogt, use his bullpen, continue to expose the pen, continue to get reps against them, and hopefully you come back and you take a 3-1 series lead tomorrow. It should be fun. Let's get to the blow-by-blow from this one.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
Devastating loss. Yankees out-hit 11-6. Another outstanding at-bat by Gleyber Torres to lead off the game. He fell behind 0-2, worked the count, still managed to get the walk, but the Yankees could not score. Matt Boyd was pumping roundhouse curveball after roundhouse curveball tonight. Bottom half, phenomenal play at first base from John Birdie. He looked like he'd been playing there 10 years. They did mention something on the broadcast that I think is relevant. You get to use a much bigger first base, much bigger glove at first base than you do around the other infield position. So if you've got good hands, just having that bigger glove at first base is going to help you out. Top 2 Yankees got a run, but also a missed opportunity. You got the 1-out walk from Volpe, very good at bat, fought off some very tough pitches, and then Verdugo hit his daily chopper to the right side, but it bounced perfectly over the first baseman, went down the line. Verdugo hustling all the way, turned it into a double. Trevino was in the lineup for the first time this postseason. He had an opposite field single, but immediately got picked off. I wish I still had the drunks sound effect. Oh, here we go. Yep. Here we go.
That's what they do. Run the bases like drunks.
That's exactly what they do. Whoever's in charge of running or base running in this organization, whoever oversees how these guys work on practicing their base running has got to go. World Series or not, that person has got to go. There are high school teams that make less base running mistakes than the New York Yankees. That should not happen. What is Trevino thinking? Where is he going? You don't have wheels, dude. Just stay put. Let these guys hit. Gleyber Torres ended up hitting a fly out to left field. Would have been a sac fly. Would have been the second run. Would have been the winning run. Nice running catch by Verdugo in the second. I have to admit, he's done a really nice job in left field in this series, or in this postseason. And he's swinging the bat a little bit. He is hitting .250 with a .666 OPS. Not bad. Got to see Dominguez for the first time tonight pinch run for Stanton. Bottom 3, Manzardo went deep to right field. That gave the Guardians their first lead in the series. Schmidt and Boyd were both done by the 6th inning. Cade Smith came in, had a dominating 6th inning against the Yankees. 10 pitches, all of them strikes. Cut through Soto, Judge, and Stanton. About as tough a threesome as there is in baseball. And he made it look easy. Bottom 6, Hamilton had to play at first base, kind of rolled his ankle. He threw one kind of warm-up pitch to see how he was fielding. He hit the backstop, rolled his ankle again, and you get the feeling he's probably coming off the roster, which means Mark Leiter is going to be on the roster, which means get ready for more home runs from the Guardians. Tim Misa came into the game. He allowed a base hit to make it 3-1. 8th inning, the inning that will live in infamy. It would have been living in more infamy if the Yankees had finished off the job, but walk to Soto. That's why you hit him in front of Judge. Guardians go to Emmanuel Clase and Yahtzee. Judge just takes that cutter the other way and hits a beautiful line drive, landed in pretty much the exact same spot that Roberto Alomar's home run landed in 97. One of the most clutch moments you can imagine, second home run in the series. I don't want to hear anybody else say this guy is not clutch, right? Sure, he's had his moments where he didn't get the big hit, but everybody has those. Tonight he proved that he can. Didn't try and pull it, just took the cutter the other way, and strong enough to get it out of the ballpark. Next batter was Big G, solo shot, back-to-back, belly-to-belly. you could have talked me into the idea that Judge would hit a home run, but I didn't think Stanton had any shot because he really had some ugly swings tonight. And also, he doesn't hit great velocity. But Clase threw him a slider. Bad pitch selection. We had bad pitch selection from both closers tonight. But that was an all-time moment. That felt like 2017, 98. It felt more like those 90s teams than anything we've seen from the modern Yankees. And you had to wonder, would that break the back of the Guardians? And it did not. You have to give them credit. Bottom 8, Canely came in. He worked out of a jam. Didn't get much help from the umpire. He worked into a jam, not out of a jam. Weaver came in and worked out of the jam. He got fried to end the inning. And then the 9th inning, more interesting base running from the Yankees. Volpe got hung up between second and third. He got out of it by running into Ramirez, who was standing in the baseline. Clean play, I thought. Just ran right into him. And the ball got away. So he was safe. Clean play. No issue there. And it looked like Ramirez understood it was a clean play. Came in to score on a sac fly by Gleyber Torres. Continues to have a good series. No hits tonight, but big run. Rizzo came into the game for defense, and he booted a shot right at him from Ramirez in the 9th. That brought the tying run to the plate, but Weaver induced a 1-6-3 double play to erase the base runner. Beautiful play. And I thought, okay, that's it. Lane Thomas was the next hitter. You figure he's going to get him to fly out or something, and we're gonna do the recap and be up 3-0. But he took one off the center field wall for a double, and then the next batter was Jackenzie Noel, and he was pinch hitting, and he smoked a 2-run home run. And it was a bomb, too. It was a no-doubter. And that seemed to kind of release the pressure valve from the Guardians. And they looked like they were on a mission at that point. Top 10, you got to give credit to Jimenez at second base. Took away a base hit from Jazz Chisholm. Looked like Naylor might have hurt himself on the play. Dominguez was on the bases. He had pinch run for Stanton, who walked. And so you're thinking, he could have been at third base, and then you can get a run on the benefit of an on and out. You can get a fly out, a ground out, a pass ball. A lot of ways you can score a runner from third there. And then, especially if that gets through. And then 10th inning, obviously, Fry with the big home run to end the game. And the Yankees dropped their second game of the postseason.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
If you ain't first, you're last.
If there's one thing that bothers me about Yankees fans, and we're smart fans, I think, but a lot of people are extremely critical at times when they really shouldn't be. Sergeant Carl says, one lousy out Weaver couldn't get. Come on, Weaver has been money for us all postseason. How many big outs has he got? He's a human being. You don't go through an entire postseason with a 0 ERA typically, right? Come on. Let's just understand that this is baseball and those things happen. Erik C. says, good teams recover from games like this. We'll see how the 2024 Yankees recover. I think they will. It's like they say, momentum is as strong as your next day's starting pitcher. If Luis Gil comes out and pitches well tomorrow, then, hey, we're in good shape. So, it is what it is. B's Knees says that was the worst loss emotionally since the D-backs Game 7 when he was a kid. Oh, I was in college. That was a tough one. Game 7 of the 2001 World Series. The Yankees had stormed back, taken a 3-2 lead. Pettit got mauled in Game 6. And then Game 7, you had the Schilling versus Clemens duel. And the Yankees took a lead late on a home run by Alfonso Soriano on kind of a hanging splitter from Schilling. And then they walk it off. Rivera had come in. He was pitching 2 innings. First inning, I think he went 1-2-3 with 3 strikeouts. He just dominated. And then he ran into trouble the next inning. And after that game, I just got in my car, and I just drove up I-40 for about 3 hours. And then when I had to stop for gas, I just filled up for gas and drove back in the other direction. I drove for like 6 hours, just listening to sad music. That's how I handled that one. Tough night. Yanni Molo says he blames this game on Aaron Boone. Don't This was just baseball, man. This was just the Guardians getting big hits. If anything, there were a couple of things that I thought hurt the Yankees tonight. One, bad pitch selection from Luke Weaver there and from Austin Wells against Noel. Sped up his bat. He had 2 strikes, threw a changeup, and it leaked right out. Oh, you don't like to throw changeups to righties anyway, especially not away, because it leaks back out over the plate, and that's exactly what happened. And then the base running, the base running from Trevino. Wells had a tough night. Just tough night to be a Yankees fan, but it's still one loss. Yankees still have a 2-1 series lead. It is not over. It is not over. Let's take a few more comments here, and then we will wrap up. Franklin Lopez says he thinks that Weaver is a little bit worn out. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. They've been using him like crazy. Stone Cold says Clay effing Holmes. Well, you're not alone in saying those words, I'm sure, tonight. Rick Marrero says, we will win. This is a test of how we will respond and of what this team is made of. I'm optimistic for tomorrow's game. I wish I could tell you I was super optimistic. I feel good about the offense. The way they swung the bat late in the game, they were having comfortable at bats. Judge with the big home run. Stanton obviously with the big home run. Wells still looks lost. Just lost. Shane Johnson says that Boone managed the game as if he was up 3-0 in the series. No pinch hit for Birdie in the 6th. No steal for Jazz in the 7th or in the 6th when Volpe follows with a double. No World Series fire him. They're not going to fire him. They're not going to fire him. He'll be back, I promise. Derek Hughes says, why is Clay in there in a high-level situation? Clay has been money this postseason. 0 ERA. He had never allowed a postseason run until tonight. But I would have rather seen him in the spot that Hamilton pitched tonight. I would have rather seen him there. Theo Harris says, remember we lost in a walk-off of Game 3 of the 09 ALCS. I do remember that in Anaheim. I was actually watching the game at work. So I was working at this restaurant trade association company. We had a TV in the office, and it was the early game, so I was worried I wouldn't be able to watch it. But around midday, the boss and the second in line, I was number 3, both went to a meeting like away from the office. Like it was like maybe a 4:00 game, and they left early to go meet somewhere, some business people. I think they were meeting with like a senator or something. And I was like, shit, I'm gonna watch the game. And so I stayed there and watched the game. Tough night. Let's wrap it up.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
So we can take a look here at the StatCast data from tonight. Juan Soto hit the hardest ball of the night. He hit one. Oh, I got a picture of Jeff Bezos. That's what I was. I was posting that on Twitter. 113 mile an hour off the bat. It got caught. Jackenzie Noel with the longest home run of the night, 104. All the top velocity pitches were Emmanuel Clase. Clark Schmidt just 5 swings and misses. Boyd with 9. So it is what it is. Judge 109.9 off the bat on his home run, and Giancarlo 106.1. And we'll take a look at the box score here. So Yankees got out hit 11-6. Only hits came from Judge, Stanton, Chisholm, Volpe, and Verdugo and Trevino. Nobody had 2 hits. Judge, the only one with 2 RBIs. He's now got 5 RBIs in the series. And Schmidt, solid outing. 4 2/3, 2 runs. You'd like to get a little deeper. But the back end of the bullpen is the story. Weaver and Holmes got 6 outs, gave up 4 runs. It is not what you want. So, yeah, Cleveland's a good team, as Samantha notes. Just got to come out and play better baseball tomorrow. I mean, you got Luis Gil on the mound. He's rested. Hopefully he doesn't come out too strong and wild. Hopefully he's dealing. And then you got Judge and Stanton feeling good after the big home runs tonight. And night game, Should be pretty good energy. Should be a fun game. I think it's 7:30 tomorrow. Let's just double check real quick. I'm just going to double check the time. I can't remember if it's at 7:30 or 8. No, it's at 8:08 tomorrow. Luis Gil versus Gavin Williams. So tune in. I will be back for the post game. Also, probably do a voicemail show tomorrow morning. So call in 718-899-1068. If you're wondering, Dodgers beating the Mets 3-2 in the top of the fourth. So tune in for that. I'll see you next time.
Ball game over.
If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.